You will be amazed at how many companies there are that do over $3, $4, $5 million. They don't have the Facebook pixel on their sites. They're leaving millions of dollars on the table. If you're not doing Facebook, you have to do Facebook. Hello everybody, welcome to Search. This week we will talk about different ways to analyze your e-commerce business and how well you did in 2019. And some of this has to do with profitability, some of this has to do with operations. And when we look at our clients' metrics for an entire year, we look at specific executions and we look at specific numbers that are going to make the difference for what kind of strategy we should follow in the next year, which is 2020. So Joe, when we look at our clients right now and we're going through this process, what are we looking at? Let's break it down first. Obviously, you have the e-commerce or the development side of things. Then you have the marketing side of things, right? And then you have growth opportunities. How would you break this up? What do we look at with our clients when we're looking at their platforms or their development capabilities, and what kind of held them back and what helped them to grow in 2019?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing we look at is, did the technology that we're currently using hold up? Right? Did we outscale our current technology? And so you typically see that your technology or your platform that you're using, if you start to increase your volume, you'll start to choke. And it starts to affect every other aspect of your operation, from your internal operation to your sales and revenue and et cetera. So that's the first thing we look at. Is our technology up to par, or do we need to enhance our technology?
Correct. So in 2019, as Optimum 7, we probably worked on over 600 platform migration when it comes to e-commerce. And remember, the technology now is dynamic. So the technology is moving and increasing, and your business is changing and increasing. And there are hundreds of platforms that you could pick or choose from. There are thousands of functionalities that you might need on your site. So the first thing that you should do is, let's say you're on Magento right now, you run your e-commerce business on Magento. You got to look back to 2019 and say, what were my limitations from a platform standpoint? What did I want to do but I didn't get to do? Or what did I really aim for and it was either way out of my budget because I needed some custom functionality? And this is going to give you that boost in 2020, because you're going to have to make some serious decisions when it comes to technology in 2020. It's going to start moving a lot faster than it did, in our opinion, in e-commerce. Why is it moving fast, Joe?
So the reason it's moving fast is because of all of these big players out there absorbing the e-commerce space, right? You have Amazon, Walmart, Jet, and the technology that they're investing in is crazy, right? So how are smaller e-commerce companies going to keep up? Well, they're going to have to do the same. And again, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So that's why you really need to start investing in your technology now, because come 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's going to be too late.
Yep. So the first place is you look at your development, your technology. The second thing that we look at is marketing. When you're looking at your marketing, you open up your analytics. Do it right now. Start from January 1st up until today, which is December 17th or 18th 20th. Or 20th. It goes on fast. Everybody checked out already. January 1st to December 20th. Where is the money coming from? And don't only look at revenue, look at profitability. Yep. Look at your top 100 best-selling products. Look at your top 20 best-selling categories, because analytics gives you this. Look at your funnel from add to cart all the way to checkout. What's your percentages? Very importantly, look at your mediums. Which mediums made the most revenue and most profits for you? Is it organic search? Is it Facebook? Is it Google? Is it Google Shopping? Is it retargeting on AdWords? Is it email marketing? Is it affiliate? And these are, there's a big spectrum here. And very important, which ones did you not do? If you didn't do affiliate, and if you have products that are affiliate friendly, and we can review that on another session, you better get onto affiliate, because that's like you trying to sell 1,000 products versus 1,000 people trying to sell you 1,000 products. Affiliate definitely works if you find the right partners. Yeah. Facebook. You will be amazed at how many companies there are that do over $3, $4, $5 million. They don't have the Facebook pixel on their sites. They're leaving millions of dollars on the table. If you're not doing Facebook, you have to do Facebook. This is not an option anymore. It was an option 4 years ago. Today, it's not an option anymore because the Facebook audience network is so wide. CNN, Forbes, Huffington Post, Inc., Entrepreneur, and a million other websites Instagram, and I would say 95% of the clients we have and the prospects we talk to do not do YouTube. YouTube gets 3 times the traffic as Facebook, right? So look at your mediums. Where are you getting the money? Where are you not getting the money? But most importantly, let's look at the touch points, right? We've been saying this for a long time now. Average user now needs 26 touch points, brand touch points, to do business with you. Where do these 26 touch points come from when we talk about all these mediums? This is very confusing to a lot of people.
Like
Joe.
you said, well, these touch points have to come from all over, right? We're going to see in 2020 that everything, and you're going to hear this over and over again, you need an omni-channel approach, right? So you need to be touching them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Google search organically, or PPC or Google Shopping. So you need to be in front of their faces wherever they are. And that comes to being on multiple channels. So one thing that you're going to see is analyze what went well in 2019, and like you said, analyze what you didn't get to, because you're gonna need to get around to it. But at the same time, focus on what worked, right? Don't start hopping on TikTok just because you hear a buzz around TikTok, because it might not be the right fit for you.
And not unless if your audience is Gen Z.
Exactly.
I mean, if your audience is Gen Z, you gotta get on that.
On TikTok, yeah.
But if you're selling, I don't know, B2B,
exactly, right?
products,
some channels
TikTok
just don't make sense. Don't
Yeah.
waste resources. Focus on what's actually delivering revenue.
Correct. Got it. So, and again, look at what worked, what didn't work, what we're going to do, and we're trying to recap this as best as possible. So we talked about dev, we talked about marketing. I want to talk about differentiating yourself. We'll give you some ideas next week on our next week's session. But this week, we want you to start thinking about how can you differentiate yourself from all the competition, and how can you become a niche brand? I think that's the key 2 things that we want to leave you with when you're reviewing 2019. And again, you'll hear this many times from different marketers, different experts. Who are the fans, who are the customers that you have that are raging fans of your business, of your products, right? Of your services? I think you need to look at that. Why is that, Joe?
Well, because they're going to be your best salesman, right? I mean, they're going to go out and tell their friends about it and so on and so forth. It goes back to the old school word of mouth. But really, at the end of the day, they're also going to be the core of your business, right? Because if they're continuously purchasing from you, that's, their customer lifetime value is always going to be far more than just, new business, right?
Yep.
So, they say on average, it costs 6 times more to acquire new business than it is to convert an existing customer.
Correct.
So utilize that, pretty much, use that to your advantage. Go after and make those 5 raving fans of yours into 10, into 20, into every single customer that touches your store that wants to leave there and tell somebody else about it.
Yeah. And look at your operations. Again, we talked about different mediums. Exactly what Joe mentioned here from a lifetime value of a customer standpoint is how good is your email marketing? How good, when you just send specials, that's a different thing than you differentiating yourself by actually segmenting your customers and choosing your top 1,000 customers and giving them something extraordinary, something of value, something of extraordinary value, right? Because those are the people who are most likely to come back and shop with you and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars with you, right? So this is what you need to look at when you're reviewing 2019. Next week, we'll talk about specific ideas for 2020 and what you should really look at and some of the trends that we see for 2020. Speak to you next week.